Yes, recording in progress. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I think we are starting our statistics session. So, with statistics, study some very important aspects of Excel as well as mathematics, and then we come to probability and statistics, which are part of our business studies. So, I'll be covering all these aspects in this lectures we are having right now. And we'll be following a method of like a hands-on session. So I'll share the link, like what exactly you need to do with me, and you try to work on that thing. We'll understand the way which you have to do it. For Excel and some other things, you may find things are trivial. Yes, that is trivial because I need to cover because it has some link with my post lecture, so that also will be there. Else, for others, it might be new. And I assume that all have Excel installed on your laptops and will be working with that thing. I'll be covering the advanced Excel, whatever I call, or Excel functions mainly. And some things and all known to in terms of Excel. So I'll not be covering very basic aspects, so which I assume that people know about it. That's how it will go. Before I share my screen, so that's the idea which what are the things I will cover and all will be shown to you, so that you will have an idea like what needs to be done from your side, etc., etc. So before that thing, let me have a brief introduction about me, and I'll also ask about your brief introduction so that move forward. So my name is Amarnath, and I handle the business analytics and statistics courses at Dayanand Sagar University. I am an alumni of Dayanand Sagar University, or I don't know, it was called as Dayanand Sagar College. So that's about 33 years back. So it was part of Bangalore University. So I graduated from Dayanand Sagar College with a background in economics and statistics. So I did my master's in statistics. I've done my MPhil in statistics. I have an MBA in marketing. So, and I have a PhD in management. That's the kind of background I have. As part of my day-to-day job, I head the research section of analytics at a company known as Ambertag Analytics. I have about 40 people working under me. So all are in the area of data science. So I apply what you call the analytics, or whatever you call the data science aspects to various problems, ranging from A of anthropology to Z of zoology. And currently I work on computer vision problems in the area of retail per se. So how a video, audio can be used for a retail application. So that's the nature of work which we do. And mainly we work in the area of IP creation. We don't do analytics as a service, or we don't do any projects per se, anything like that. Of course, we work with various different clients, venture capitalists, big companies and all. We concentrate mainly on creating IPs or patents, whatever you call it. So I've been teaching management students, I've been teaching engineering students, and of course the new area of data science also I teach as adjunct faculty only. I'm not a regular faculty. So it's about I can say about 15th year of my teaching. So I do this teaching as part of my the knowledge which I have gained. So what I had promised my professors that whatever they would really give me that knowledge, I wanted to share. So that's a promise which they had taken, especially my PhD guides and my MPhil guide, who are told that whatever they teach probably should be disseminated to every individual, like wherever you have a chance. So that's what I do. So that's a brief background about me. And okay, we can start with anybody and give a little background about you so that it will be good for everybody. Can anybody start?
Professor. Myself, Yatish.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work in Capgemini now. I have around 3.5 years of IT experience. I have background of manual and automation testing.
Very good. Okay. This should come to the class. Next.
Hi, Professor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Nipun. I am a dentist and I did hospital administration post that from IHMR Jaipur. I'm working with operations, the hospital operations in the areas of Manipur, and I currently head operations at one of the units.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Next, please.
Good evening, Professor. This is Martin here.
Okay.
I have around 18 years of supply chain background. Now I work for Flipkart. I'm into operation team. I'm heading operation team in Flipkart.
Okay. Very good, Martin. Welcome. Yes. Next.
Hi, Professor. Now this is Alekia.
Yeah.
So yeah, Professor, I have around 10 years of experience as a, right now I'm working as a business analyst in FIS Global. It's a product-based company and I'm working in a banking domain project, Professor.
Okay. Welcome. Next, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Yes. Next. Anand.
Hi, Professor. This is Jinsi here.
Yeah,
I have 14 years of experience. I work at Target and it's more into digital marketing and advertising.
Oh, very good. Fantastic. Yes. Next, please.
Good evening, Professor. I am Anup. I am working with nobroker.com as operations unit head.
Very good. Next, please.
Good evening, Professor. This is Mridula here. So currently I am working in the finance as a process associate and I have 3.4 years of experience.
Welcome. Next, please.
Good evening, Professor. This is Nagesh. I'm currently pursuing my MBA through DSU and I work for Manipal Hospitals in the marketing team.
Okay. Very good. Welcome, Nagesh.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Professor. I'm Pawan. I have experience of 5 years. I'm currently working in project management domain. Previously, I worked with Capgemini and a manufacturing firm. Thank you.
Very good. Welcome. Next, please.
Good evening, Professor. This is Amrita. I'm currently working with ClearTax as a senior associate with an experience of 4.5 years.
Okay. Very good. Welcome, Amrita. Yes. Next, please.
Good evening, Professor. My name is Devupriyo, and I have completed my BCA and Bachelor of Arts. I'm back to studies doing my MBA from DSU, having 19 years of experience, presently working in the capacity of a global marketing and sales for a company which is into business analytics, artificial intelligence. The name of this company is Pegasus Knowledge Solutions, based out of Chicago, Illinois. That's my role here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So I see exclusive somebody from analytics. I think probably you should be telling us more about analytics.
Oh, sir, I'm not that. I'm more into the marketing side of it. That's the reason why I wanted to add to your class, slowly get into the core business, core understanding.
Hopefully, yes. I'll try my best to impart
sir.
whatever I have some knowledge on this thing. So that let's see how best you can get more out of my lectures. Yes.
I'm looking forward, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Next, please. I think have I covered everybody or? Yeah, please continue.
My name is Savan. I'm pursuing MBA in Danasaga University. Currently, I'm working as an intern in testing AI solutions.
Okay, we have one more somebody from that domain. Yeah, very good. Yes, next.
Hi, Professor. This is Surbi Swain. I work for SCL. I am a technical lead in SCL and I work for a development project. Currently, I am working on infrastructure management project. So I have 14-year experience. Thank you.
Very good. Welcome, Surbi. Yes, next, please.
Good evening, Professor. I'm Gautami. I'm working as a product support engineer at HSRIT Software Solutions. I have 2.5 years of experience and I've just completed my engineering and now I'm into executive MBA.
Very good. Welcome, Gautami.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Professor. This is Chaitra here. I'm working as a vendor coordinator and process specialist at Johnson & Johnson.
Next. Have we covered everybody? No.
Good evening, Professor. Myself, Kavita.
Yes.
I am working at a logistics company as a business analyst. I have 5 years of experience.
Very good. Welcome, Kavita. Next.
Thank you.
Have we covered everybody or?
I think everybody is done, Professor.
Okay, well, thank you. So let's start. Let me share my screen and let's see what are things which I will cover so that you will have an understanding that what's the kind of foundations I build and try to do it. Because these are some things which are very much essential for our understanding. So let me share my screen. So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yes, Professor.
Yeah. So I have a course plan of about 18 hours. So what has been allocated by the university. So we have been doing this kind of courses here. So based on the feedback which we have received, also I have modified some things at least for this batch, so that what are the things which we tend to cover in this. So as I told you, I'll be covering some Excel formulas, functions, mathematics, a bit of probability, and that's some statistics. So this is the kind of thing which will be covering topics with regard to Excel, formula auditing, name ranges, and for each one of the things. So I have these links there from where we'll try to learn about it, and there's a book about it. You need not buy this thing, but I think all the what do you call, the essential things has been borrowed from this book predominantly. So of course, online, if you find any copy of it or something, you can probably some previous versions may be available. So you can download this book. And the if for logic, VLOOKUP, index and match, sum product, rand between, pivot tables, data tables, goal seek, what if analysis. So for all these things, we have links that, and we have a data inside the link. So let me show you that. So this is how it looks. So I'll share this worksheet also with you, where you can click on it and download. So we open this kind of a thing. We tend to, and where to work. So you have this download Excel file. So that is what has been given here. Download from inside the link. I have mentioned that. So inside the link, you have this file. So you need to download this work across. So we'll see, like, because some things may be trivial and all have been solved here by the person of this block. So we need not do anything, like, but we'll try to see, like, how exactly it may work out to us. Because to do anything, so people also may be using Excels and all. So maybe not in a very formal way or as is required for our understanding. So let's see, like, what are things we may require and all. So that's the way which we go about. So that's what I have mentioned here. And so So I have got about 3 classes or 4 classes on some mathematics, which I mentioned here. So we'll try to see. So let's get back to our high schools, or if something is a bit complicated, probably some people may have had their experience of mathematics in their college days also. So we will have to revisit those things. So those are the things. There's something like solving equations, how to use solver in Excel. So when I say the solver and all, so probably on your own Excel applications. So you have this, when I go to data, so you see 2 things here. So where I'm hovering my mouse, you have this data analysis and solver. So if it is not there, please try to install this thing on your application of Excel. So these are very much required for us to solve this, whatever is available in this thing. So how to get this and all? So probably like when it is applied, when it is there on your this thing, so you need to go to the add-ins and all. You have to add it. Probably it will with the product itself. You need not worry about it. So that has to be installed. So this data analysis and solver. So calculating numerical expressions using function notation, piecewise functions, etc., etc. So this some things are a part of our high schools also. Some things may not be. So probably in our college days, we had this kind of a thing. So I'm just revisiting this thing, and how to solve it in Excel is what which we'll try to do it here. So I'll give this. There's a manual Excel spreadsheet manual. It's a PDF file which I'll share you. As soon as Professor Rajan gives me access to the Google Drive, where all some of the materials which I like to share with you will be put there. And also there's a book like College Mathematics for Business, Economics, Life Sciences, and all. So the manual, whatever I am sharing, is from the same book actually. Somebody has written this for this textbook person. So this is college mathematics. So how, why, and all. So it covers business, economics, life science, and social science. So people have this kind of a thing. So that has to be learned. So I have something a little bit about probability application we need to learn before I jump into statistics. So statistics, we'll be studying about rank, percentile, random and systematic sampling, descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. We have got quite a few things in inferential statistics. So, and we'll end our understanding till about multiple linear regression or linear regression per se. So why we follow this thing is something like probably for our own classes here, like people who want to learn about statistics, etc., etc. So they can't connect the dots. So we have had this challenges before while teaching the regular MBA also and executive MBA, because it's taught theoretically or more like solving on a your own using a book or something like that on your own notebooks and all. You try to solve it or whatever. But after this COVID-19 pandemic, so we have many challenges. We thought we'll use a tool like Excel to make students understand about statistics. So that's why we are following this way. So to do this thing, so I share this link also. Like you need to buy this book. So that's an e-book about data analysis and business modeling using Microsoft Excel by PHI. So the current price is about 337 rupees for this book. So when you click on this look, the book will be something like this. And this has to be used by a Adobe Digital Edition. So it works on that aspect only. So you need to download this thing. If you buy this book, we'll just follow as is whatever is there. When you see this thing, so all the chapters are mentioned here, and it's more, it will be there, a lot of things are there, but usually we cover the descriptive statistics, we go on to inference, and we end with linear regression. So there are many other things in the book. which may help certain people, as if somebody is from financial domain, somebody is pursuing MBA, they have their predictive analytics class and all. So what best can be done with regard to that? All things are covered. So if I have a showcase something, so like it's all some basic things are given. So as is. So usually in a MBA course, like how it is taught. Professor who has written this is from Anna University. So for their MBA classes, what the statistics they teach using Excel. So that's the kind of procedure we'll also follow for us to understand. So the data sets for this book are not downloadable. So it is something like, as per as the UGC guidelines and all, like somebody has to enter the data on their own. So it's not provided to a student as it. So we need to, there'll be some time. So we need to enter the data in our spreadsheet and we have to work across like what exactly it means. If I say a formula or something, let me show some brief things. If I show about descriptive statistics, so we need to enter the data, we work on it, explain like what exactly descriptive statistics means, what exactly get as an output and how do we interpret. So all things are given here. So we understand in the way as is given. So it will also be very good learning for you people so that you may understand a lot of things. So tool is used and we try to understand what exactly we need to get out of this aspect. So this is how the course pattern follows. And that's what I wanted to say. So let me pause here for a moment. In case you have any questions, I am ready to answer.
Sir, just a small request. Maybe this will be put up on the link, but can you also share this Excel with us after our today's class on the WhatsApp group or something so that we can get a quick hands on to it?
Yes, definitely I'll do that. So I'll definitely do that. So what I will follow. So for today's class, I'll share the 3 links on this thing. After that, we share this also. Why not?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this is there. You can have a look at it. And for the benefit of everybody, so the links also you can click, but let me copy this thing so that in the chat window I can share it. So chat for the one link.
This also you can share it with WhatsApp, Professor, so that we can pull out from there.
Yeah. I think in the chat window also you can click it, right?
Yeah, now we are able to get it, sir.
Yeah.
And also, sir, what happens is these classes are very important for us. So I know you are recording it, but usually what happens is we get a hang of the recordings for our regular classes. If you can help us get an access to the folder where these recordings will be put up, that will be very helpful, sir.
Yes, definitely. Yes, Professor Rajan has told me that it will be put in a folder and you will have access to it. Definitely.
Sure.
So for the last batches also on for these classes which we had done this thing, so you'll get it.
Thank you,
definitely you'll have a, because that's why I asked Imtiaz also to give link to for recording so that it will be there. So it will be there on the cloud. Definitely everybody will have an access to it.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
So this is about the 3 things. In the same file contains everything here. And I would advise please buy that book so that you'll have an understanding like how, why, and all. So these are some things, the Excel spreadsheet manual which I told you, which I'll be using to teach something about mathematics and all. So this will be there, and all are linked to Excel. So you need not worry about it. There also people talk about like, so this is taught at many American universities, especially the book which I told you, College Mathematics. So they have a manual for Excel, like what exactly it means. So mainly it might be for a business student, it might be for somebody from social sciences, life sciences, economics. So all will have this thing. So some things may look repeated here. They will say that why a repetition, but that's how we learn. All mathematics, whatever will be this thing, this will be shared in a day or two in the folder. As soon as Professor Rajan gives me a link to this thing, we'll do it. So this is the step-by-step way which I usually follow to teach students so that they will have a hang of whatever they try to do it. Okay, let's move to. Okay, so these are some, I don't say advanced or something. I think it's an advanced, that's fine. But certain things are very much advanced, especially when you talk about data tables, schoolseek, solver, index, and match are not regularly used. Maybe other things are used, but there's a link which we tend to use, and it can be used in any format. So, because I do teach many other courses which link to Excel and all, where these are things which are very much required. Whatever I teach may look foundational aspects, so that you have to link it, like at the appropriate time you may see that where it is helpful, where it may not be helpful, and so those are some things which you need to think about and work. So please open your own Excel so that we'll also start with this formula auditing, so you can download it, and I'll also download it. So what does this formula auditing do for us and how it is helpful? So this shows that how the relationship between formulas and cells are very much evident here. That has to be seen, because when we write the spreadsheet, whatever we call, Excel is a brand name. So when I say like Excel, so there are many other applications. You have today Google Sheet and all. At some years back, you had many more applications like this. So what is called today, whatever we see in this format is known as a spreadsheet. So when we create any model, so why spreadsheet? Because that's the first thing which we tend to see, do something on. So if you are faced with any problem, any business problem and all, and you are trying to solve the same thing using data. So this is something which we have to see. So data is something which usually people see. So today it's a digital world, more data and all. So data science is predominantly factor which we have to no more discount and all. Using data, we can do a lot of things. And it is not the domain of only data scientists or something like that. Anybody, any field has to know about it. So when we try to have that kind of setup, you will be using some ideation on a spreadsheet. So that's what we tend. So it's about some boat camp or something like that, boat trip or something. Somebody has created a the way, like the description, like it says a boat rent, boat fuel, life vest, picnic, dinner. So what's the total cost? So if I have a group size of 8 people, what could be the cost per person? So it may look very simple, but formula auditing is predominantly when you create a very much more complex problem. So when I say a complex problem, when you try modeling, for example, we are trying to do some kind of causal aspects, like for example, for a response variable, we're trying to link some other variables and all. So if you have to create that kind of a thing, so we need to create some kind of a structure in our spreadsheet. A of course, why this thing is very much essential, because for our mind, so it should have a framework, or we should put a boundary line to our problem. So we cannot use each and everything. So whenever we say we are solving a problem, it has a boundary condition. So if people from mathematics are there, or somebody from programming or something like that, they might have heard this word, what I am talking. For everything, there is a boundary. We solve problems to that situation. We cannot overthink and all. So when I talk about statistics, it's also, I am trying to solve any problem for a sample, that's all. So if somebody is thrown a challenge in supply chain or something like that, you are solving to that particular thing. It is only generalizable to a population. So I'm saying from a sample, it is generalizable to something. So that way we put a boundary condition. So somebody has this example and he or she has created this thing. So we see how exactly the way somebody has done this thing. Of course, they have used up many other formulas and all, etc., etc. But what exactly we are trying to see is like the procedure, like where we have to see, like, trace the precedence. So you have to pay $96 to show arrows that indicate which cells are used to calculate this value, execute the following steps. So at this level, it may be very, very basic, like, but when you think of other problems and all, you have to trace, like, so that's why we say that documentation is very important. So whatever the comment, whatever you put is very much important here. When a comment in Excel also will serve a large purpose, because you will be bothered with many things, because you may try to do something, or if you inherit any process from somebody might have done that. If she has done properly, that's fine. Otherwise, to trace back, it becomes a challenge. As best practices, we should be able to try to put like this, a comment. Of course, test precedent and all will come, because today Excel, the later versions from 2016 onwards or 2013 onwards are more user friendly, and the way they have tried to do it is super. Especially if you see the book by Wayne Winston on that Microsoft Excel modeling, powerhouse of a lot of things actually. Just sitting in front of it, you can see that using Excel you can do a lot. So that's the kind of thing which you will also find it out. So when I say about trace precedence, so I go on the formula bar and I go to formula tab, click the formula auditing group. I say trace precedence. Let's see what it gives. So I go to the formulas bar. So let me bring this thing below. Okay. When I say trace precedence, command requires that the active cell contain a formula which includes, okay, I'm on an active formula here. So cost per person, what is it? So when I say trace, it will give me an arrow. So what are the things used? So something from total cost, so there is a dot, and something from group size, and I get the cost per person. That's the kind of a thing which we do. So this is how we try to find out, like, what is the dependencies in the formula. So if you have very complex states and all, so that helps a lot. Because Excel as such is a lot of powerhouse, it can do a lot of things. Whatever I'm showing is very, very basic. Even though I call it advanced basic, advanced Excel or some kind of formulas and functions. So it looks very basic, but when we move to the next steps and all, these are all very much important. So when I say, so from that thing, so I will use whatever is there in the total cost divided by group size, and I get 96. And somebody in the formula, if you see on your own worksheets, round up also is being done. So it has been rounded up to something. That's what they have used. So round up is also one of the functions. Probably not described here, but it can be used here. That's so.
Sir, this is Anant here. Sorry for interrupting, but what is the use of trace precedence, Professor? As in, like, let's say I know it is trying to relate to formulas, but does it audit formulas and then say, you know what, the link is wrong, or does it give any further inferences apart from auditing a formula?
No, it gives actually. So when you see this thing, say it can trace precedence, trade dependence, etc. and all. So if you want to show a formula, so if there is error checking, so these are some things you can do also. Not the thing, because sometimes whatever you do, you calculate a division of something. So like using a BODMAS rule or something like that, you have some very complex things and all. So it works according to a BODMAS formula or something like that. So for example, we see doing some kind of calculation on matrix or something like that. So at that point of time, there might be challenges with regard, because you have to use some product and all. So at that point of time, like whether the formula you have to use, because you have to use something like control shift and enter. So that things has been done correctly or not. So those things can be traced, because when you try to do that thing, as far as Excel wants, you will do it. But I don't know, there might be some error, whether you might have pressed a certain button correctly or not, or may not have pressed that thing. So that will try to show that kind of a thing. Let's see whatever is there. So
Sure.
hopefully I have answered your
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you did. But I have never used these things, so I thought I'll get
Yeah,
it.
that's the thing.
Thank you.
That's what I told you. It might be trivial also, but yes, why, how it has to be used, yes. Examples on this, somebody who has written this page, blog or something like that, I have used very basic things. When you try to connect to many other things, because when you see here, see, when I say that, so learn more, because see, there's a chapter on formula errors itself, if error, is error, aggregate, circular reference. So whatever is essential, I have chosen some things and done, but these are all things which are interrelated. When you see the book, I still advise you, like to get any copy of that thing, when if I get something on the web, especially this book. Microsoft Excel 2019 Data Analysis and Business Modeling by Wayne Winston. So this is some book, it's a treasure house, like it's from the same publisher where I have recommended this book. Yeah. It's from Prentice Hall. This is a huge, I think about 600 or 700 page book, that book on Microsoft Excel modeling. Of course, nobody buys today those kind of stuff. So that's why we advise to get an e-copy or something. So if you get by chance a copy from 2016 or something like that of the book, I advise you to download it, keep it. So that will serve a lot good purpose. You can do anything. Your imagination, something which you have to really relate to that in the book. So that will help you a lot. Okay, let's see something next, whatever we have it. So that is about one thing. So where we did something about trace precedents. So as expected, total cost, group size are used to calculate the cost per.
Professor, sorry, one question. We just go for the trace precedents to check the connectivity. After checking it, after validating it, if I want to remove back this arrows.
Yes, you can say you have this thing.
Remove arrow option you have there.
A remove arrow option is there.
Just tried it. Okay, fine. I'll just try.
Say remove arrows, so it will be able to do it.
Okay, thank you.
So that will go. So one thing is like, especially after, as I told you, Microsoft Excel 2013 onwards has been a lot of changes. So whoever was used to something very previous before 2013 may not have seen it or sparsely used. So there are many things you can do. So only thing is like, I let your imagination, so your own ingenuity. Probably yes, your manager, your process requires to do something on Excel. Because the first thing, whatever we try to do, like put it on Excel. The three things we always use: Excel, Word, and a PowerPoint. Word also, I will say, maybe or may not be a PowerPoint. Like create something here, whatever the requirements or whatever some kind of a thing manager might have to put, or during discussion, you whatever things you put on a what you call, you might have notes or something like that, but some numbers, something like that. You try to build that kind of a understanding around Excel. Calculate a formula, do a lot of. So whatever I have chosen is basic. So there might be some finance formulas also. There might be some marketing formulas also. might be something with regard to supply chain metrics also. The way the ratios or metrics are calculated are entirely different. Everything is here, try to put it, there's a linkage which we're trying to do it. Comes to modeling, yes, we use data analysis, a solver or something like that. So that's how we move step by step. So that's a thing, the kind of linkages happen. So next is like, so click trace precedents again. So, okay. So where should I keep it? Okay, I have to keep it again there. First, I'll keep it here. I try to do trace precedents, and then again I click trace precedents. So it will tell me like what is the entity to arrive at $761. So the whole thing is something shown here, and of course you have a blue bounding box. As I told you, any problem has a definition, like that bounding box should be in our minds, because it should not go beyond that. So we cannot overthink. All things has to be to a particular problem solving. So all of interest is like $400, $33, $20, $68, and $240. That's a total divided by something, $96 per person. So that thing. So I clicked once, and to click one more trace precedence, yes, you have the whole thing. So of course, the remove arrows, I'll do that. Okay. So I remove arrows, that will go off. And
Sir, you have selected the whole boxes, right? Have you selected that? After
yeah, I did twice, that's all. So
no, it is not opening in mine.
okay, you keep it your in cost per person only. First time I clicked, it will give me this thing. I don't remove the arrows. Again, I click on trace precedent, it will right now.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Got it?
Might be I'm using WPS, so it is not.
It's coming in Excel.
Yeah, try it out. You should get it. So that's the thing. So I'll remove the arrows. So everything will go off now. And now we'll see, select cell C12. So C12 is that group size, and I say trace dependent. So what is dependent on that thing? So C12, I am here. So I was at C13. So I have gone back to C12 now. I have to keep at that particular thing. And I say trace dependent. So it will show me that dependence, because in that C13, that C12 has been used, even though C12 is not a formula. It will, so it is an intelligent application by Excel. So it will say that, so trace dependent. So the dependency is traced here. That's how we come to know that there's a interdependency between the group size and the cost per person, even though C12 is not a formula. Please keep it in mind. Yes, as expected, the cost per person depends on the group size. So by default, Excel shows the results of formulas. To show the formulas instead of the results, execute the following steps. So there are two formulas here. So I think I should remove this, remove arrows. No. So let it be here only. Let's see if it gives us the formula. So I'm at something where there is no formula, but it should show me what are the formulas. So if I click show formulas, it will show me what are the formulas. So there are two formulas here. One is a sum formula which is here. When I click on that thing, it will show me the boundary condition of the thing, what has been used for summing that thing. When I click on this roundup, so what are the two things? So it has used something from sum, I mean to say the C10 and the C12 to come up to C30. That's how it can show. So these are the formulas. So what is used? So this has to be carefully thought of it. understood and implemented. So that's how we come to know about this.
So this Excel sheet that you're using, you have shared it, or if we click on the link, it opens the sheet. How does it?
So there is that's what I told you. I
Download
mentioned in the Excel. Download Excel file.
Okay.
You click on it, you get it. Everything is here. So it's a very beautiful blog. You get a lot of other things. So okay. So the formula was shown to us. So to check for common errors that occur in formulas, execute the following cells. Enter the value 0 into C12. So purposefully, instead of 8, I am removing this thing. I'll put 0 here. So since I can show formulas, nothing is being shown actually. So there is a 0, even though it has flagged me, there is some error or something like that. So I have to see that if there is an error, let me check if that gives us the error. So I'll do an error checking. So remove this show formulas. Error checking. Yes. So it shows me what's the error there. The error checking. So what can be done, help on this error, etc., etc. So that's what is being shown in the next steps here. Excel finds an error in cell 13. The formula tries to divide a number by 0, so which cannot be done. So help on this error. So to debug a formula for evaluating each part of the formula individually, execute the following. Select cell C13 and the formula style. In the formula to click evaluate formula. So let's see what it gives to us. Yeah, evaluate formula. So when I say evaluate formula, so this is where the first thing pops up. So what does it say here? So there is a challenge in C10. So that is what is being highlighted here. So my screen is a bit this thing. So you can also see that there is a challenge in C10.
So, sir, this is more of like, let's say, if I need to correlate this to programming world, more so in the visual
Basic, yes.
.NET thing. So this is more of an immediate window kind of a thing where it gives me the running
Yes,
errors.
perfectly right.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Okay.
So
Right.
this is for somebody, I don't know, I will not say hate programming. Somebody is too averse to programming or something like that, or they don't like programming, or you can achieve something. But as I told you, like 2013 onwards, most of the programming things are like GUI things in Excel. And most of the thing, at least about 55 to 60% of the work can be achieved. So at least solving some complex problems also using Excel. That's what is being done. So let's click evaluate 4 times. That's what they say. What are those errors? Like we can get it. So once I click, okay. So click means so the highlighter moves to C12. Second is done. Third is done. Fourth is done. So the complete thing, it will tell me like what are the challenges in the thing which we notice. So he has put 4 different screen sheets. So Excel shows the formula. So again, if you want to see it, evaluate, and I can restart. So there is a division error there. It will say again it will go up to whatever challenge. That's because I have this challenge. If you have interrelationships in this kind of formulas, so that's where you find this more useful. So that was about auditing the formulas. So let's move to the next aspect, name ranges. So let me close this one. Close.
So while you navigate there, this trace precedents and trace dependents can be used on any formula in Excel, right? There is nothing like,
Yes,
I need to
anything.
use.
Whatever is in the entity of Excel, you can use.
Okay.
So if you have this, like for example, I'm in a particular workbook in sheet 1. If you have something in sheet 2 also, interdependencies of that thing also can be used, definitely. Okay. But that should be pertinent to that workbook itself. That's all.
Yes, yes, yes.
Where in sheet 2 you have some relation to sheet 1. That formula, probably whatever you have done that thing there, might be 2 months thing, like sales of 1 month will be in sheet 1 is dependent on sales of second month also. If you have put some relation, like somebody wants to know what's the growth rate of sales from month on month or something like that, if there's a challenge and you have put that sheet 1 thing, that formula from that particular thing, so you can trace back that also. That's also quite
sure, sir. Anyway, I'll surely work on it, but then out of curiosity, I'm asking if there is a protected sheet where I cannot edit the formulas and I still want to see the trace dependence, is it possible? But anyway, I'll surely check it.
No, might be not, unless until probably yes, as I told you, like if you are in a company, if you have access to that thing, somebody will definitely given access to you so that you work on it. Okay. Or if you inherit a process or somebody has left the job at that particular thing which you might have joined, definitely your manager or somebody, the process should define you such that the access to that protected sheet is given.
Okay, sure, sir.
So that was about this thing. So let's go to name ranges. So this is very much useful because we need not use each and every one of the what you call an entity of what you call, I can say like a group of numbers or something like that, which we define some particular using some range or something like that. Range means like I define. So as you see on the screen, for example, 5, 4, 15, 9, I can name it as Amarnath also. And that is respected to that particular workbook which you are using it. Same thing cannot be taken in. So you can name it Anant, you can name it some name or something, whatever is there on your worksheet. So that defines to that particular thing. So you need not use that again and again. So you can just say that that particular name ranges will be there. You can use it for any other. Let's see what is there in this thing. So let me download this name range. So I have some sheet 1 and sheet 2 also. So I'll select that range A1 to A4. So something has already been done there. Okay, not a problem. So A1 to A4 I have chosen here. So on the formula step in define name, that's why I'll define a name for it. So I go to formula tab. So I have something like define name. So I get a pop-up window here. So I think the author of the blog has given a name as prices. So scope is this workbook. So that is very much important. So workbook. So it can be any sheet. If it is in a particular sheet, your named range in particular, that will be used. The scope of that thing in the complete workbook. It might have 10 sheets. So you do whatever name ranges you can have. In the workbook only, you can get those things and you can have an understanding about it. Okay, I say prices. Scope is workbook itself, or you can have a sheet 1, sheet 2 also. But I want it for a workbook completely. So what is that thing? So it defines like in sheet 1, A1 to A4 is prices. So this thing I can use it anywhere in this particular workbook. So if I say okay, oh, this is already there. Okay, so I'll give it as, because it's already a solved thing. When you see this thing, it's already been defined. So click here, you will see that already it has been done. Let's do it some other. So I'll control C, I'll put it in E here. Okay, this is something 4. So I go to a define name. I'll say Amarnath. And I say okay. So for this defined range, whatever I have, Amarnath is there. So this I can use this set of numbers which is defined as Amarnath anywhere, so that I can bring that link. So that's what is being done here. So today I have prices. So for this example, we have to follow something to understand whatever he has. So select the range, type the name in the name box and press enter. So that also can be done. So I'm, for example, so this is the name range which I have it. If I type this thing, prices, it will give me that particular price. So here he has used sum of prices or something like that. So I can use this sum here. So let me try to do it. So I say is equal to sum of Amarnath is something which I have defined here. So I say Amarnath is there. So apart from the inbuilt function, so Amarnath is something which I have defined, which I can use it. Not taking. So I get 33. So I can use it anywhere. So I can put it here. Should get it, I think. So sum of. So there are other functions which are inbuilt. So Amarnath is a name range which I given. The same thing which you can also see in there. Double click on it. I say enter. So 33 is the answer. So same thing you can do for. So instead of using sum of something like A1 to A4, my name ranges, I can type prices here and I can get it. So let me try to. So is equal to sum of price. Close bracket, enter. So that will be 33. So this you can use it anywhere. So this is done. And
Professor, I have a question.
yes.
So the formula that you applied, right, from one sheet to another sheet also, I'll be able to connect it, is it?
Yes, definitely you can connect it.
Okay. Thanks, Professor.
As I told you, my scope is this workbook completely.
Okay.
If I given only sheet 1, it will work for sheet 1. If I given sheet 2 only, it will work for sheet 2. Scope is workbook means like you have got 10 sheets in this workbook, the file, Excel file. It can work anywhere.
Sure, Professor. Thank you.
But prices cannot be repeated. The same name cannot, if you do something in sheet 2, you cannot have prices itself. You can give it as price 2 or prices 2.
Okay.
So that will be very much important here. But
Sure,
every
Professor.
name ranges will be seen here. So for as of now, in this thing, I have got 2 name ranges. One is Amarnath, one is prices. So same thing like that, you can follow the rule.
Professor, how to delete or remove the name which is defined by us? Example, you have defined prices, right? So if I want to remove it or change the name of that array, how to do that?
I think here. Think I should be able to do it.
So first select the name range. I think after that you'll get
Name manager.
select the name range.
Okay, I'll select this one.
And then right click on that itself.
Name manager.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Delete.
So I say delete. Yes. Okay.
So one more thing I wanted to know, out of curiosity once again, can the name ranges be, I mean, should the name ranges be only numbers, or we can have a name range on text-based data, like let's say list of names or something like that? Should we?
Text-based data, no, it cannot be, because it is for some numbers. Here, the whole of Excel is about numbers.
Okay. Okay.
So, but yes, you have some text thing, you need to convert it to some kind of numbers, and then you get that understanding from that.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
And of course, he has used something to create a named constant. Execute the following steps. So on the formulas tab, define name, we'll put it. So I'll put something less tax rate. Okay, so tax rate is not at all a part of this thing. So I'll put tax rate as one of the things which I will add to this. So this is a scalar quantity. Okay, keep it here. So I should go to define name. So tax rate. So it's not sheet or something like that. Give it as some 0.1. Okay. Oh, name already exists. Okay. There's some other. So tax rate 2. I will take this as 0.2. Yes. Okay. So this will not be seen, but yes, when I try to use something, for example, with this thing or something like that. So let's see what's the kind of example which is trying to follow. Now you can use this name range constant in your formula. This will not be seen in the drop down, but this will be there in the tax. So if the tax rate changes, use the name manager to edit the value. So in the manager window, you have everything, whatever is there mentioned here. So let's see if my tax rate 2 also is there. Yes, I have this thing. So it is 0.2 is available here, right? Can use it. So here I use it as A1 into tax rate of this. So let me try to use it as A1 multiplied by tax rate of 2 equal to multiplied by tax rate, enter. So this 1 to control, or can you double click here? Okay. So all the things, scalar quantity will not be there in this display. It will be part of this name manager. So you get to do whatever is available. So that way also can use it.
Professor, I have a doubt. So when after getting that formula tax rate 2 which you done, so if I am copying the data, like a large sum of data from first sheet to second sheet, will the same thing get reflected in the second sheet as well? Or do I need to change the tax rate again the name?
No, you mean that's for a workbook. That's what I'm telling. In this workbook.
No, if I copy from first sheet to second sheet the data. Copy and paste
let's see what. So I'll copy this thing. Control C, go to tax sheet 2. Let me put it here. Enter.
Yes.
So no, because I don't have anything. So I need to refer to that particular this thing from sheet 1. So reference of tax rate is there in this particular thing, but here whatever is seen is from just K3 it is telling. That's all. So it is not part of this thing. So you should have something here which will take us there. So it is not part. So if you want just the numbers, so you can have what is known as the, if I say control the numbers, like you can keep here and paste it as numbers. So you get this thing. That's all.
Actually, I was referring like we have 2 different months data. So for 2 different months, we have the same tax code or any. So that I can do, right?
Yes, definitely you can do. Tax rate will be available here also. Tax rate will be available here also. So if we have something here, same thing is there in this particular. This is for the month people. So come here, you apply whatever is there as available for our tax rate in terms of the name ranges. I can multiply it, I will get the answer.
Okay, Professor.
Yeah. So for example, this thing, if your data has labels, you can quickly create name ranges in Excel. So let's go to this chocolate strawberry example. On the formulas tab in the define name, click create from selection. Let's see what it does. So I'll go to sheet 2. Okay, I need to select. Am I right? Yeah, complete thing. I need to select here. Oh no. Okay, create from selection. Check top row and left column and click OK. Okay, let me do that. So by default, it has been done since it's already solved. So I think if I say OK, so top row is like the headings of the column name. The A column has the row names here, so that has been selected. So how it is useful to us, that let us see. Excel created 12 plus 3, 15 name ranges. Simply select a range and look at the name box. Okay, they have selected August. Let's try to do August itself. Use the intersect operator space to return the intersection of two name ranges. Oh no. Okay, is equal to Feb space chocolate. Okay. Where I should, oh, in sales. Okay. Yes, Feb space chocolate. Intersection is 217. So when you see this thing, 217 is the intersection for Feb and chocolate. So that is what is this thing. So for a complete selection also, you can get this thing. That is one more way. Of course, there are a lot of permutation combinations around this thing. And there are many other blogs also where you can try to find out this thing and okay, that was about name ranges. So let's move to cell references. Oh, I click on the cell reference file. So click on this. Of course, there are 3 worksheets. Work with one of them. Rest 2 you can work as an exercise. Lot of things are done. So, okay. So cell references, I think you people might have already done it. Say multiplying say quantity into price, you get the amount, or anything which you have multiplied, you'll get it. So I have to cell references like B2 is cell reference for bread and the quantity there. For bread and the price, it is 1. So B2 multiplied by C2 is the cell reference which we are trying to. So here we understand the differences between relative, absolute, and mixed reference. So I think you got examples here. Let's see 1 or 2 here. Excel uses relative cell reference. See the formula in cell D2 below. Cell D2 references points to cell B2 and C2. And both references are relative. Is what it is called. So if I click it here, B2 and C2 are known as relative cell references because I used, if I click F2, yes. So they are related. So that is the colloquial meaning also. B2 and C2 are related. So we click on that thing, that formula, what a multiplication thing which we have used here, and I get an amount. So that is about 3, known as relative cell reference. Select cell D2, click on the lower right corner of cell D2 and drag it down to cell D5. Cell D3 references cell B3 and cell C3, cell D4. I have only one. That is what he says. So I'll remove all this. Double click on it. Yes, I get. So this is B3, C3. So B4, C4, B5, C5. So let's see. In other words, each cell references its two neighbors on the left. That is known as relative. When I say about absolute reference, see the formula in cell E3. So I have to go to have some formula in E3. We have got length, width in centimeters, then I have length and width in inches, and I have some conversion rate here. So to create an absolute reference to cell H3, place a dollar symbol in front of the column letter and row number in the formula cell E3. So that is what is the conversion thing which we have to put. So centimeter is something I don't use any dollar sign, but for to put an absolute, that's a target which I have to see it here. So H3 is a thing which we have to correctly put it here. And if I put that thing and I get a answer for my inches here. So that's what I get it. So let me put this one here. So conversion rate, I will take it here. So I need some answer for this thing. So I equal to this multiplied by this one. So in case there are other aspects which has to go for the next thing also here. So if I have this cell address completely made only as a scalar quantity, which I have to use it. So I put a dollar sign before both of them. So go here to, I put a dollar sign and I put a dollar sign. Because this is only the absolute reference which I am taking, and I don't want this to move to the next cell, because as we saw in the relative thing, it can go on to next thing where it will change both the column name and the row number also here. So that I don't want it to have it here. So in absolute reference, I'm particularly referencing to a particular entity here. If I go to the next step also, H3 will be stagnant here. Only thing is like it will move to P4. So that's what is being shown here. Of course, this can be done to anything. So I can have some mixed reference also. Sometimes we need a combination of relative and absolute. That's a mixed reference. So let's see what I have in the example in the sheet 3. I'll put it here. So let's what's the thing they're doing for this thing. The mix of relative and absolute reference is trying to do it. So we need a combo. See the formula in cell F2. Okay, let me okay, I have something in absolute reference also, and some formula where I have put a dollar sign only to the column this thing, but I have kept the row number variable. So that is what is being mix of that thing. what does he say? So we want to copy this formula to other cells quickly. Drag cell F2 across one cell and look at the formula in cell G2. Okay, let me try to do it. So let me remove something in here also. Pull this thing here. So I get 48. So $B. So $B is, so this is quite stagnant here. So B2 is this one. So cell reference is perfectly right. And this is $6. So $6 is this one. So I make variable B, so it will go to the C also. So, but it is in 6th row, that has to be perfect here. So when it comes to this thing, so B2 will be as it is here. So instead of B6 here, it will change to C6. But row will be made non-changeable. So I'll stick to 6. C changes from B, C changes. So this is the example of have it. So what are the other things you can do also? Can be seen here. You have got a mix of count if and all. Probably you can try it out as an exercise. Okay, so what I had for today. Any questions? I'm very happy to answer. So this set of tutorials is known as Excel itself. So you can do many things. What can be done, etc., etc. Yes, any questions?
No, Professor, I think it was easy. It's just that when we have situations, maybe when we use it, we may have some questions.
Yes. So these are some things which we were, I wanted to talk about. So in the next class, we'll just move to our next things, whatever has to be covered. Maybe we go a little bit fast so that now we know like what exactly we need to do. As far as the materials and all, as and when, as soon as Professor Rajan gives me access to the Google Drive, I'll put it there. And next aspect is like the recordings will be available to you. I think Professor Rajan will share it to you as soon as possible. So our next class will be Wednesday. So same time between 7 and 8:30. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor.